All right. Good morning, everybody. I am just getting ready right now for our practice. Going to get some things out of the way. It was a cold morning here in Mittagong. So I've just been with the heater there. I taught a class in here to the public, and now I've come online to teach with you. Grab yourself some blocks and props, and we'll get going very shortly. A cushion, if that serves you. Just going to grab the harmonium and we'll be on our way. All right. Today's practice will be a hybrid yin, yang, kriya, and flow vinyasa. All right. Take a moment to come into your comfortable seat with elevated spine, chin slightly drawn towards your chest, and begin to close down your eyes. Take a scan of your body from the soles of your feet through to the crown of your head and recognize how you've arrived. Feel into the sensations where you might notice areas of stickiness and resistance, and perhaps areas where there's freedom and fluidity. And let's take the unifying and harmonizing current of our yoga tradition to invoke a sense of balance in the body, to encourage the yoking together and the unification of those opposing sentiments into a coordinated movement in the direction of more abundance, joy, happiness, self-love, self-care. That's the direction we want to go. As we sweep the hands up and overhead, draw a big breath, inhale, and then come through your heart center with your hands at your chest, chin slightly drawn to chest. Let's take 3 breaths and we'll begin our practice with an Om. So the inhale draws fresh oxygen-rich air into the lungs, and the exhale removes stagnation, activity, and fatigue. One more like that. Inhale, positivity, joy, and happiness. Exhale, stress, fatigue, melt away. Inhale for Om. Rub the palms together and create friction and heat and warmth and energy. Place those hands across your eyes and absorb the nourishment of that warmth. Peel the hands away as you open the eyes. Lower the left hand down onto your left knee. Peace fingers of your right hand to your third eye. The thumb closes your right nostril and you inhale smoothly through the left. Close the left nostril, open the right, and exhale smoothly and softly. Inhale back through the right. Close the right, exhale through the left. Re-inhale back through the left. Softly close the left, reopen the right, exhale. Re-inhale through the right. Gently close the right, open the left, exhale. Re-inhale through the left. Softly close left, reopen right, exhale. Re-inhale right. Close right, open left, exhale. Re-inhale left. Close left, reopen right, exhale. Final round. Re-inhale right. Close right, open left. Exhale smoothly. Lower the right hand down. Sit there with that harmonizing, balancing expression of alum volum, alternate nostril breathing. Rock forward onto your tabletop position, all fours. And then sit back on your heels in your child's pose. Knees out wide, big toes touch. If you own a bolster or a pillow, you can slide the bolster towards you and lower down upon it and lower the chest and roll the head in a direction that serves you. For a few breaths here in child's pose, allowing the hips to settle back towards the heels, the breath to come and go naturally, the scan of your body to be holistic from the soles of the feet to the crown of your head. Stay for another cycle of breath. Rolling up from your child's pose, removing props from underneath you. Tabletop, hands under your shoulders, knees under the hips. Tilt the tailbone up, look up, open the throat. Inhale, cow. Dome through the back, press away from the earth, chin to chest, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Allowing yourself to maneuver the pelvis anteriorly and posteriorly so that the fluidity of the spine begins in those two movements, the tilting and the tucking, so that the entire vertebral column has this lubricating impact from this movement. And if that starts to turn into a pleasurable movement that allows for creative expression, begin to do that. If there's tightness in a hip, in a thigh, maybe in the feet, feel free to find a shape that works for you over these next 5 cycles of breath to allow yourself the self-navigating, the self-inquiry. Upon arrival back in your normal tabletop position, let's warm up the fingers and the wrists. Lift the thumbs first, then lift the palms and shift forward onto 4 fingers of each hand. Hinged at your first row of knuckles, lift and lower the palms for 5, 4. If you type all day, this is a very good exercise to strengthen the wrists, open up through the knuckles, and warm up the forearms. Lower the palms down, lower the thumbs down, and move from right to left across your upper body. Sit back on your knees, shins, and tops of feet. Take your hands into a prayer position in front of you. Take the fingers forward, away, and down. Separate the palms, palms towards your chest. Then find the backs of the hands, and then you float the fingers forward, palms touch. And it's a wave-like movement around and in and up. And it's warming up the wrists. It's synchronizing the movement of your body. It's warming up the elbows, the shoulders, and the upper back. And then once you've done that a few times, reverse the direction. It takes a little bit of coordination as well. If it's the first time you've done it, you feel a little bit awkward, a bit unusual. Good. Another breath. Now flick it all out. Flick away the tension and the stickiness in our wrists and our forearms. Start down low and find thumb and index finger touching, and flick it away as you lift it all the way up through all the fingers. Eventually you come to the top, and then you flick all the way through all the fingers, flicking away the stickiness and the grittiness of the arms, the wrists, and the repetitive movement that we do all day. Good. Rock forward onto your tabletop. Set up your downward facing dog. Place your hands a further handprint down the mat away from you. Tuck your toes, send your hips back towards your heels, and then lift the hips up as you press your chest to your thighs. Look back at your big toes and pedal the feet. Windscreen wiper the heels. Bend one leg deeply while the other foot lowers on the mat. Switch it up. One foot on the mat, bend the opposite knee and stretch down the back of the leg. Feel into the row of knuckles we just activated. Find neutrality in your wrists, engagement in your shoulders, and a lift of your hips to the sky with belly button drawn in and up. The head is heavy, the neck is long, and we look back at big toes, high heels with bent knees to help lift the hips and take some of the pressure out of the glutes, the hamstrings, and the backs of your knees. Another deep breath here. And then walk forward to the top of your mat. Exhale, breath the whole way. Feet are hip width on arrival, hands on shins. Halfway lift and lengthen, inhale. Bend the knees, tummy on the thighs. Hold the elbows, chin to chest, and bounce and sway in your ragdoll. Dangle the arms to the earth. Roll up the vertebra by vertebra, bone by bone, coming to a standing position. Tadasana, mountain. Upon arrival, firm the feet into the mat. Toes are passive and soft. Muscles of the thighs hug the bones. The pelvis is neutral. The ribs are wide and tucked in. The collarbones are proud and lengthened, and the arms are long and fingers are spread. Focus forward on the horizon. Big toes come to touch, hands come to heart space, chin to chest. Few breaths here, setting up your Ujjayi pranayama if you practice that. Setting an intention, a sankalpa, and allowing the namaskar mudra of the heart space to cultivate a self-care and love for yourself and for one another. On your next inhale, bend the knees, sweep the hands down high and wide up to the sky. Exhale, return to the earth as you hinge at the hips and fold. Halfway lift and lengthen, inhale. Plant the hands and step back to high plank. Exhale, we'll hold the plank long and strong. Press away from the earth. Belly button in, fingers wide, knuckles grounded for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lower your knees down, cross your ankles, draw the heels towards your buttocks, lengthen along the torso, so shift the pelvis forward, tone the abdominals in and up. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lower halfway down, bend the elbows, press back up on the inhale, and lower halfway down on the exhale breath. Press back up, inhale, lower halfway down, exhale. Press back up, inhale, and lower halfway down and all the way down. Uncross the toes, tuck the toes, lift the chest, inhale, cobra. Exhale, back through tabletop, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, walk forward to the top of mat. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise your hands and rise up to the sky. Exhale, return to the earth, hinge at the hips and fold. Halfway lift and lengthen. Inhale. Plant the hands and step back to high plank. Exhale, breath. Lower through knees, chest, and chin. And then slither through to your tummies and find your way into back bend, cobra, Bhujangasana, tabletop, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Walk forward, top of mat. Exhale, breath. Halfway lift and lengthen. Inhale. Fold, exhale. Sky, inhale. Earth, exhale. Halfway lift and lengthen. Step back with your opposite foot to high plank. Second round is knees, chest, and chin on the exhale. Feet wide, hands on the floor, elbows to the sky. Inhale, a bigger back bend now, striking cobra. Exhale, return the chest to the mat. Come back through tabletop. Tuck the toes, send the hips up. Look back at big toes, downward facing dog. Walk forward with the opposite foot first. Halfway lift and lengthen. Inhale. Fold, exhale. Sky, inhale. Earth, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant the hands and step back to high plank. High plank to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, inhale. Upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Walk forward or high on the tiptoes. Bend the knees, look forward and hop forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Sky, inhale. Earth, exhale, breath. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back, Vinyasa flow. Downward facing dog is where I'll meet you. Walk forward or hop forward. Chair pose, inhale, sit down into that seat. Look forward, press through the heels, draw the belly button in for 3, for 2. 1 is the fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant the hands, step back. Vinyasa. Right leg lift, inhale. Firm through the left foot as you peel the right knee open towards the opposite buttock. Lengthen along the side body. Point the toe. Square your shoulders as best you can. Staying here. Right foot to right pinky finger. Left foot plants 45-degree angle. Walk hands off the mat to your left and press down into the hands. Finding your lunge dog position now. Walk the hands back to the top of your mat. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot. Lower the back knee down. Untuck the back toes. Bring a block with you to your left hip. Place the hand on the block. And pause. As you lift that block up now, reach up with the hands on the block. Pull the block apart. And now transfer the block into your right hand as you lower the hand down beside you. Press into the block so that you find bigger, deeper opening across the front of the left hip. Bending to the right, peeking under left armpit. Sweeping down for your other block, lengthening the front leg, and then sliding the foot forward for your half split position. Hands on your blocks, lifted through the pelvis, lifted through the chest, looking forward. Planting the front foot down, shifting the weight back, bringing your blocks forward, pressing into the blocks for your Dekasana pose. Lifted through the back leg, drive the heel towards the wall behind you, curl the toes back towards your face. Stepping back and finding your high crescent lunge, rising up, feet at hip width, looking forward. Warrior 2 is your exhale. Dance the feet, front foot 12 o'clock, back foot parallel, short edge of mat. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, inhale. Windmill the hands down, frame your front foot, place the blocks under your hands, pivot onto the ball of the back foot, peel the right hand open, twist, inhale. Lower the right hand down with your hands on your blocks, step back to high plank and try your flow now with your blocks. Lower halfway down, come onto the tops of the feet, lift the chest, bend through the back, open the chest forward, and then roll over the toes, down dog. And now explore what it feels like to have your downward facing dog with blocks under your hands. Firm your feet, hands into the feet, firm your right foot down, peel the left leg up, then yawn the hip open. Breathing here for a few cycles of breath. Step your left foot to your left pinky finger. Back foot plants at a 45-degree angle. Bolster off to the right, hands on the bolster. And let the hips settle back, the head hang heavy. Look under the open legs behind you. Nice work. One more breath. Coming back to your center, blocks underneath the hands, lower the right knee down, untuck the toes behind you. Walk the block back beside your right hip, press that hand into the block and lift the chest. Sweep the block up, hold it between the hands and then draw it apart. Lower the left hand down with the block underneath it. Support that side of your body as you press into the block and then reach the right arm overhead. Peek under right armpit, look to right. Sweep the hands down, reach for your block. Block slide back with you as your front leg slides forward and center. Back knee away from you. Blocks support you. Pelvis softens down, but torso lifts up and away. Two more breaths. And slide that front foot forward. Bring your blocks forward. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot. Right hand on the block on its lowest height. Peel the left hand open to the sky. Lower the left hand down. Bend into right knee. Rise up into high crescent lunge. Reaching the heel up. Grounding the front heel. Warrior 2. Open up. Exhale breath. Flip it in reverse. Inhale. Windmill the hands down, plant them, step back to plank. Vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Right knee to right wrist, shin lowers down onto the earth, bolster, cushion, pillow underneath the right hip. Elevate the hip and see if the front shin can come a little more proud to the front of the room. Your blocks are there to help you support yourself, but that proud chest, the long back leg running parallel with the short edge of your mat, with a bolster, a pillow underneath the hip, you'll feel more elevation. See if you can shuffle the back leg away from you further. Walk the knee back. This one we hold for a while. And just tuning into the sensation in the hips and the outer thighs. A few deep breaths. Just recognize how the left hip is getting all that extension and this right hip is really cramped and compressed against the weight of the torso, bearing down upon the bolster, and hence why you get that beneficial experience of momentarily blocking the energy. So as we prepare now to step back, that energy can reflow through the leg. So tuck the toes, hover the knees, scoop the right foot up, step back with the hands on your blocks for more elevation. Just integrate how that feels, how that right leg feels in comparison to the left. Let's switch it up and take it all over to the left side. So left knee goes to left wrist, the block on the mat. The back leg, we peek over right shoulder, run the leg long away from you, and then elevate the pelvis so that we can scoop the bolster underneath the pelvis. And once we find that with that elevated expression, start to move into a spot where there's some compression, some sensation, extension. It's a good pose to awaken some of the nervous system that runs through the backs of the legs and the buttocks, hydrating the tissues that get super sticky and stagnant as a result of too much sitting in our lives. This time now, just shift more weight onto your left hip to bring your right leg forward. Readjust your bolster. Take your blocks out behind and beside you. Roll off the bolster. Lie down on your back. Use the heels to help scoop the bolster up and underneath the sacrum. Walk the feet in and let the weight of the pelvis rest down onto the bolster. Arms could go out wide and you could have the blocks out wide and let the forearms rest on the blocks so that you hammock into the shoulders. Let's just rest and digest here for a few cycles of breath. Actually, for more than a few cycles of breath. If you know you can walk your legs out, do that as well. Counter pose here will be hugging the knees in and turning it into happy baby with the bolster underneath the pelvis. So press the feet into the ceiling. Press the back of the head down into the earth. And shift some weight from the spine onto the bolster. And start to lift the legs up towards the ceiling for modified legs up a wall, modified shoulder stand. It's causing the fluid in the legs to drain. The reversal of the direction of energy. Bend the knees, place the soles of the feet on the mat. Lift the hips and slide, roll the bolster down and away from you until it arrives behind the nook of the knees. Lengthen the arms out and rest the backs of the knees on your bolster. Settle in now. Into your Shavasana. Roll onto your favorite hip in a fetal position. Round the back, chin to chest. And then swing your way up into your version of a comfortable seat, whatever that might be for you. For me today, I'm going to straddle my block, my bolster. Place the hands on the knees and be in a receptive position to receive the energy of the practice, to receive the download of information from the universe into the body, to tune into how we feel through the harmonizing current of the yoga practice, to bring the hands into the heart space, draw the chin towards the chest. Well done today. Thanks for joining me. Nice, short, and enjoyable little flow this morning. I hope you had a good time. Greet the remainder of your day with the Hindi word namaste and have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, wherever you are. Bye for now. See you again real soon.